What's up, guys? How we doing? Can anybody hear me? Let me just take my top off because I'm by the fire. It's absolutely roasting. Bear with me. How we all doing, guys? Just give it a couple of seconds for people to check in. I'm a little bit early, to be honest with you. Just this minute, got home from work, got all of my stuff together, and thought we'd go live. So just give it a couple of minutes, guys. Just gonna have a Guinness, and it's a 0% Guinness, by the way. Good afternoon, Rodney. Good start. Good start. Once this sets, we're good to go live. I thought that's a good way of starting off the episode. When my Guinness is set, we'll go live. So how are we doing, guys? Tis your boy, Mark here once again. Before we get anywhere, can anybody hear me? Anybody hear me all right? Just give us a thumbs up if you can hear me, because it is the first time I've ever done a live. I normally use StreamYard, but I didn't use StreamYard today because it was just a rush to get here today. I said 4 o'clock. It should have really been 5 o'clock, to be honest with you. But Rodney says he can hear me. So let's go live. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I did say that my mission in 2026 was to get some content out every single week. And I will be honest with you, it was a struggle this week. The rain has been literally biblical. The last episode that I did where me, Stu and Headley went up onto Dartmoor, it hasn't stopped raining. It really has not stopped raining. It's just been biblical rain since October. And quite simply, I'll put it out there. My boy Zach plays football for a Saturday league team, and he plays for a Sunday league team. And 2 leagues on a Saturday and Sunday. It's literally, he's played a handful of games since October. Seriously has. So literally the weather has been appalling. I haven't felt up to it because I've had a few things going on in the background, and I just basically wasn't feeling it. So I thought, hey ho, let's do a live. So first of all, before we start, everybody raise a toast and cheers. We got Doug in the room. Good afternoon, Doug. We have got brother of a certain age, my old mucker over in America. He's in the room. Rodney, Jesse's in the room. How are we all doing, guys? Just come on in. What we're going to do is we're going to do a free for all. So if anybody's got any questions they want to ask me, feel free. I've got the old fire going in the background, so I might have to either strip off in a bit or I might have to chuck a log on the fire. But quite simply, what I thought I would do is come on here, do a little bit of a question and answers session, get to know you guys, and show you really some of my winter 4 seasons winter gear, because I started doing wild camping way back in 2020. I gave up drinking, and before you ask, this is a 0%er Guinness. I gave up I gave up drinking back in about 2020, and the problem is I used to go out drinking with my mate George, and because we gave up drinking, it came to a stage where I was never able to see my mate George. So we came up with the idea, what we're going to do together, mate, to start seeing one another again. So we decided to do the Cornish Coastal Path, just do it when we had time. And one thing led to another, and before long we was camping up on Dartmoor. And that was, I think we've been doing camping on Dartmoor now for about 6 years, and one thing leads to another. Before you know it, you've got copious amounts of tents, gear, and all of that sort of stuff. And I just basically wanted to show you 5 years on the gear that I've got for this winter. And if anybody's got any questions on any of the stuff, that'll be cool. But before we do, let's have a look at the questions in here. Why are you not out with Jesse tonight? Says Doug. Quite simply, I wasn't feeling it this week. I've been out in the rain continuously for the last 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. I've done about, I think, 3 weeks in a row camping. My mind hasn't been in the right place. I was going to go out on a van camp, but the weather's just been appalling. funny enough, today there's a little bit of sun out there, so that's the reason why I'm not out with Jess. And what happened at Yes Tour, mate? Yes Tour. Well, it was Jesse's birthday, so we went up to Yes Tour. We had a few to drink and didn't have anything to eat. We had some port. It got a little bit messy, and quite simply, I just thought I was laid in my tent. The tent was blowing against my face. It was blowing a hoolie, and I thought, do you know what? If anything should happen here now, I don't think that I was safe enough to get off the hill. And that evening, George's tent got destroyed. Jesse's tent got destroyed. And I just thought, do you know what? We need to start being a little bit responsible as wild campers, because it's not always you that it affects. If it had kicked off and we was having to call Mountain Rescue out or Dartmoor Rescue, whatever it may be, you're putting other people's lives at risk for basically a bit of stupidity. So it was a great night, thoroughly enjoyed it. But I came home and I felt like rubbish for a week. And I thought, do you know what? I really, really can't be bothered with it. And it's not the fact that I've given up drinking. It's the fact that I just really, really can't be bothered with it. So that's the reason why I'm not drinking, guys. So whilst we're chatting and having a laugh, if there's any questions that you guys have got regarding camping, drop them in the questions there and I'll do my best to answer them. And before, I'll just start off with a bit of the gear that I took with me on my last camp, which was at Shellstone Tour with Headley and Stu. So I've got sleeping bags here, I've got tents here, I've got waterproof gear, I've got down jackets, I've got rucksacks, I've got sleeping pads, I've got cook sets. The one thing I haven't got is a pillow, because I don't know what I've done with it. I've got a flex tail pillow and it has just disappeared. So if any of my group members that I go out camping with finds a flex tail pillow, it's mine. Right. So we'll start off with tents, because tents are like, everybody loves a tent, don't they? And it's just like, they cost the earth. Well, some do, some don't. They don't have to, but they cost a lot of money. And yeah, they're the Mac Daddies. They're the things that we all go to work and we all save up for. So the tent that I took out of my last camp was the Falraven Abisko 1. This tent I absolutely love. I really, really do love this tent. The reason why I love it is because it only weighs 1.7 kilograms. It's small. I mean, if I put a Guinness up against it, you can, that's just in comparison. It is a relatively small tent. I like the fact that you can clip the tent pegs and the poles on the front. It's a small tent. It's my tent that I use for walking in the summer because it's quite light and the pack light's quite light. I did used to use the Robins Chaser, but I gave that as a gift to Jess for his 30th birthday. So at the moment, I'm using the Falraven Abisko Light 1 for trekking in the summer and also for a Four Seasons tent. I generally use this one in between seasons because in the winter, when it's absolutely chucking it down with rain and when it's really, really windy, I've got my Steiker and I've got my Nallo, which are a little bit more robust, shall we say. But this tent, it's been out in the wind. It's been out in the rain on the last video that I'd done. I mean, it was ridiculously stupid amounts of rain. This thing was fine. No problem at all. It's what I like about it is it's relatively small, so you can chuck it in amongst the nuts and the crannies and amongst some stones, you know, along the tour. So that's that one there. That is the Falraven Abisko Light 1. It weighs with the footprint about 1.7 kilograms. Absolutely love that one. So I'm going to chuck that up there. Right, the next tent, which is a tent that cost me a lot of money, and it was a treat because my auntie passed away a few years now, and I was unlucky, however you want to look at it, that she left me a little bit of money. And I thought with some of the money that I got from her, I was going to buy myself a decent Four Seasons tent. Now, it's probably a bit of overkill, and I didn't need to spend this amount of money, but I wanted a Hilleberg Black Label tent. And everybody out there at the moment is getting the Hilleberg Sulu. Absolutely cracking tents. But for me, they're too small. They're too small. So I decided to go and get the absolute beast, which is the Stryker. Now look at that in comparison. And if you was to put that in your bag, it's pretty much taken up much of your rucksack. Now the Stryker weighs 3.4 kilograms. That's not including the footprint. So with the footprint, it's probably about 3.5, 3.6 kilograms. Now I normally take the poles out of this, stuff the poles in the front of my bag, push this right down, and I managed to get this one in the bottom of my my rucksack. But it's an absolute monster of a tent, as Jesse's just said. When I first got it, I must admit, I was asking myself a few questions because the poles were rubbing and it was flapping like crazy in the wind. And where the door goes down, the storm straps, they were giving it beans in the night. And I was just like, I've just spent a ridiculous amount of money on this tent, and I'm not sure I've done the right thing. But the more I've used it in different conditions, the more I do absolutely love this one. I found out from one of you guys that if you pull the, there's a little strap at the bottom of the storm strap, and you can pull it tight so the storm straps don't flap around on the doors. I've worked out a configuration on the poles, how to put it up. So I think it's blue, white, and red is the best configuration. I always use Delta pegs with this tent, and it's just a bomb. And the thing is with it is it will flap about a bit. It will flap around a bit, but you know that it will last 50, 60 mile an hour winds. So that is the Hilleberg Stryker. And I think that one costs about £1,500. But this will last you a lifetime, guys. This will last you a lifetime. So that is the Hilleberg Stryker. Brilliant for snow, that one. What we got here? What happened? Yes, Torme out in the Optimus V2 tonight. That's what Doug said. Well, this is where I'm leading on to next. This is a tent that I've just recently bought to replace the Chaser, and it's the Optimus Nomad Light 1. Now, I've done this. This was on the video that I'd done with Liam upon Yes Tour. Was it Yes Tour? No, it wasn't Yes Tour. High Willys. This was the tent that I used. This tent costs about £300, something like that. It's a great budget 4 seasons tent. Optimus say that it's a 4 seasons tent. I am not going to say whether it is or it isn't at the moment, because when we went up on High Willys, there was no wind whatsoever. We didn't have any rain. It looks like it could be a decent tent. Like I said, watch the video. There is a few things that I wasn't happy with, like the placement of the door and stuff like that. I think this tent will grow on me, but I can't talk about it being a 4 seasons tent at the moment, quite simply because I haven't been out in the wind and the rain. So for £300, that tent is an absolute beast. Optimus Nomad Light. It's a one-man tent. Yeah, watch this space, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what this tent can do. And the tent that I love the most, and it's another Hilleberg, it is the Nalo 2. This tent here, right, I bought this one secondhand, and I want to talk about that in a minute, because I'll just talk about it in a minute. It's the Nalo 2. The Nalo 2 weighs in at 2.175 kilograms. So again, it's another beast of a tent. It's a tunnel tent rather than the dome tent, which is the Stryker, Hilleberg Stryker. But I absolutely love tunnel tents. Put the front end into the wind, put the Delta pegs down. This tent will stand 50, 60 mile an hour winds. It's a red label Hilleberg tent. It's not a black label tent. But what I've been and done is I've been and spent £100 there the other day, and I have bought another set of poles for it. So double up the poles. Does it make it a black label tent? Possibly not, but it's going to withstand a bit more decent, winds, isn't it? So that is my favourite 4 seasons tent, the Hilleberg Nalo. Again, it's a biggish tent, but when you take those poles out, you can proper push this down and it'll fit in the bottom of my rucksack. So, guys, what I'm trying to get at is all of those tents there are 4 seasons tents. They cost a lot of money, right? But if you're in this hobby for the long run, I would recommend investing in a decent tent. Get in the comments there below, guys, and tell me what 4-season tent you've got, what 4 seasons tent you would like to get. Just get the chats going. But those are my 4 seasons tent. Higher Harmony. And I love all of those tents, apart from the Optimus, because I haven't really been out in it enough yet. But they are all 4 seasons tents. They cost me a lot of money. They will last me a lifetime, fingers crossed. Hilleberg tents, if they get damaged, you can send them off and get them repaired. And I know there's people out there that have done that. It's a bit of a ball ache. It takes a month to send away and get fixed, but it's well worth it. And one thing I want to say about this video, right, is all of the gear that I'm buying now is good quality, decent stuff. But you don't have to spend an absolute fortune. Don't be afraid to go on Marketplace. Don't be afraid to go on Vinted and buy stuff, because I have bought some stuff that I'm going to show you in a minute for a lot cheaper price, and it's come back as good quality stuff. That the Falraven Nabisco 1, I bought that tent with the footprint for £360 off of Facebook from a guy. He'd never even put the tent up. That tent is a £500-600 tent. The Nallo, I bought that for £500. That is £1,100-1,200 tent every day of the week, and I got that on Marketplace. So don't be shy, don't be embarrassed, don't be frightened to get on to those sites and buy stuff secondhand, because you can get some absolute bargains. So Doug says the Nor tent Vade 1, that's the one that he wants next. I'm not going to lie, I do like the look of that tent. A mate of mine, Stu, he's got that one. It looks a cracking tent. OEX have great budget 4-season tents, says Jesse. Agreed. I'm not sure that they're 4-season tents, but they do stand some huge amounts of weather. The Fox 2, OEX Fox 2, the little small tent, that was my first tent that I bought. And that tent, stick the front end into the wind, the small end into the wind, the foot end into the wind, mate, it'll do any winds at all there. And we had the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, my old tent that I gave George. That has been out in stupid winds. Rest in peace, because it did get destroyed when we went up on Yes Tour. But that's another budget tent, and George has had some good camps on it. I've had some good camps on it. So yeah, just get out there. Any advice you ever want on tents, get in contact with me and ask. I may not be able to help you, but I do know people that know a lot more about tents than me. And between our little community, we can get get you some advice going on there. The Lanshan 2 holds up great in bad weather. That says Doug. Never ever had a Lanshan because it's a hiking poles tent, and I don't use hiking poles because I just look like a dick with them. I look like a praying mantis walking along. I just can't get used to walking with the poles. And so, but no, I know a few people that's got the Lanshan too, and it's a cracking tent. So I'm surprised at the winds that those tents can take. So there we are. We've got the tent. We put the tent up. Then you need to get inside the tent and start getting your gear together. One thing that I do want to show you, if I can find it, is some pegs. Because what I always do when I go on a winter camp is I take these things. They're called Delta pegs. Now, these pegs are made local to me in Plymouth. They literally go in the ground like that, and then your guy line clips on that. I always use these Delta pegs. These things are absolutely fantastic in the wind. And whenever I do a winter camp now, I always make sure that I take about 6 or 7 of these Delta pegs out with me. And it helps. If you can't, or you haven't got Delta pegs, right, then what else you can do is double up your pegs. So there's a peg that I found up on Shellstone Tour. One of those real rubbish pegs. I've just got some Hilleberg pegs here that I'll show you. If you're out camping on the moors and you haven't got Delta pegs, double peg. So stick that in the ground around your guy line, and then where you got the strap on the back, stick another peg in there like that, so you're doubling up. In high winds, that will help you. So that's the pegs that I've got. Yeah, so you've got your stuff, and it's time to get your bed in. So what I have been using recently is my old Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm, I think this one is. Now this one again costs about £270, but I can remember Pat saying to me, Mark, go out and spend the money on this pad, because once you've bought this pad, you will never regret it. And the one that I had a Thermarest before this, the one that the self-inflating one, and it was all right. It was a good pad, but last Christmas tip money, I decided that I was going to buy the Thermarest. Or it was a couple of years ago. I decided I was going to buy the Thermarest, and I blew it up. I laid on it for the first time, and I was just like, oh my God, I wasn't even in my sleeping bag. And this thing, you could feel the warmth coming up through. It did go down on me when I was up I went on a camp with Jess. Where was we? A Great Mist Tour, I think it was. It did go down on me. With Thermarest, you get a lifetime guarantee, depending on whether it's your fault. If the valve is broke, or there's a break on the seam, or something like that, they will send you out a brand new one. If it's a puncture down to your fault, they will repair it for about £20-30. So lifetime guarantee with Thermarest, good stuff. That is the mat that I use. But one mat that I've been using recently, if I can find it here, I don't mix all my stuff, is the Sea to Summit. It's the Sea to Summit equivalent. And forgive me, I can't remember what this one's called. Oh, here we are. It's the Sea to Summit Etherlite XR Pro. And that is a 7.2 R rating. And this, at the moment, is my go-to mat. On one side, you can pull it out. On the other side, you've got your pump sack. So I've been using the pump sack to inflate this recently, quite simply because it's less stuff to take. And on my last camp, I was trying to see how light I could possibly go. And all I basically took was my quilt, my rucksack, my sleeping mat, my pillow, and that was about it. And I managed to do a 4 seasons camp for about 11 kilograms. So I was really, really pleased about that. So that's the two mats that I use. Again, there are some mats on the market that say they are 11.2 R rating. Liam's just bought one. I have been in contact with the company to see if they can possibly send me a freebie. And we're going to have a look at that. Liam was really, really impressed with it, but it did sound like he was asleep on a crisp packet. So I think there's a few companies out there at the moment that are saying they're doing 11.2 pack, 11.2 mats. So we'll have to look at that. But £270 this is, this one and the other one, both fantastic mats, and super important that you keep yourself warm. It's not all about just buying a sleeping bag or a quilt. You've got to have something warm to reflect the heat up. So get in the comments, guys. Let me know about what sleeping mats you use, which ones you're after, which ones you recommend. I would say if you're in the UK and you want a decent night's sleep, if you're a side sleeper like me and you want to keep warm, the Sea to Summit is the one at the moment that I'm really, really enjoying. I know Stu's just bought this one as well, and he's saying it's pretty good. But again, the Thermarest mats, fantastic mats. They've been around for years and years and years. It kind of says a lot to me. So there we are, guys. That's the mats. Pillow. We'll talk about pillows. Now, I don't know where my pillow is gone. My go-to pillow at the moment is the Flextail pillow, but I can't find it. I don't know what I've done with it. So I've lost it somewhere. But the pillow that I enjoy the most, which I don't tend to use at the moment, it's a little bit redundant, is this pillow. It's got loads of mushrooms on it, right? And it's the Thermarest pillow. All the little bits that are left over in their sleeping pads, and all their down gear and all their little bits of cut-offs and stuff, they stick in these pillows, right? And they cinch down quite small, but it's super comfortable. It's a really, really nice pillow. So I can't really talk much about pillows because there's not really much to say. But again, get in the comments, guys. Tell me what pillows that you're using at the moment. I'm going to have a little bit of a slurp on my beer in a minute. It's hard work, this. Oh, I tell you what, I've got the fire going in the background. Bear with me. I'm going to chuck another log on. There we are. So nice having a nice wood fire. But chuck a log on there. So that's that. Next thing is sleeping bags. Again, it's a little bit like tents. Everybody wants to spend a lot of money on sleeping bags because they believe that if you get the most expensive sleeping bag, then it'll keep you warm. When in reality, the thing that's more important than the sleeping bag, in my opinion, is a sleeping mat. So I would personally like to spend a lot more money on the sleeping mat and a little bit less money on the sleeping bag. Light Tall Mate. What does it say? Light Tall Mate is great, and the Zen Bivy mat is fantastic. Rodney says, this is great information. I've only camped once, and I did not put much thought into it because I was in the skate park. Fair play. Saying that, though, if I was over in America, where Rodney's from, I don't think I would go camping. We've got bears, wolves, raccoons, things that would like rip you to bits. So the first sleeping bag that I'm going to show you is a bag that I've had for about 3 or 4 years. Look at the size of this sleeping bag. Now, this isn't the bag that it came in. The bag that it came in, I can't find it. I'm terrible for putting stuff down and losing it. So it's a down sleeping bag. And with down sleeping bags, you keep them in a storage bag. You don't keep them all crushed down, because if you crush them down, it will knacker in the duck down. So you have a storage bag, and obviously you cannot carry that in a rucksack because that is just ridiculous size. So you store it in this, and then it comes with a stuff sack. And when you go out on the hills, you put it in the stuff sack and in your sleeping bag, in your rucksack. What I tend to do is get my bag, put a dry bag inside my bag, and I stuff my sleeping bag inside my rucksack, because that way it gets in every single corner, every crevice of your bag, and you can stuff stuff in, and you can get more stuff in. If you've got a sleeping bag that's crunched down to that sort of size at the bottom of your bag, it's not filling up all the nuts and crannies in the bottom of your bag, and it just takes up more space. But my winter sleeping bag that I use is the Rab Ascent 1100. Now, this sleeping bag is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's just super thick. I mean, I can't really do it any justice. It's just super thick. If any of you are in the room here now that have been out camping with me, I think there's about 3 or 4 people in my community that, after seeing this sleeping bag, have been out and bought one. They are absolutely fantastic. Again, they're not cheap. They're about £270. I have seen them secondhand for about 200. I mean, I bought mine a few years ago from Go Outdoors, and it was a lot cheaper. I think I paid £230, something like that. I can't really remember, but it is an absolute corking sleeping bag. It'll take you down, I believe, to about -25. I wouldn't be out in -25 in it, but it's nice to know that if I choose to go in cold conditions like Norway or something, I would take this sleeping bag. Now, the one thing that I will say about this sleeping bag is perhaps the zip. For the people that's listening or watching this now, in the future or currently live now, have any of you had problems with the zip? I always get it stuck when I'm trying to get up for a wee in the night, and I can't get the sleeping bag out, and I think that I'm gonna wee myself because I can't get the zip, or it catches under the baffles on the inside. Let me know. Jesse says, yeah, got mine currently in it now. He's currently in his sleeping bag now, is old Jesse. But yeah, I'm not going to put this on because I'm in front of the fire and I'm roasting as it is. But I think you guys can possibly see how fluffed up this is, this duck down sleeping bag, and actually how warm this thing is. It's made by Rab. Rab is a good make. If you guys have got Rab jackets, duck down jackets, you know how warm they are. It is, I think, the Mac Daddy of the Rab sleeping bags. Totally love it. Would recommend getting one, but just be wary that they are quite heavy and they are quite bulky for getting in your stuff. So there we are. There's the Rab sleeping bag. I'm going to chuck that over there for a minute. Good afternoon, Lisa. Hope you're keeping well. Doug says, Ice Flame 850 fill with an extra 200 fill quilt for me, mate. Fair play, mate. I've not checked that one out. So I don't know anything about that. But I will show you something new that I've got. On my last camp where I went out with Headley and Stu, I got an Optimus 850 quilt. Now, there's always a debate, sleeping bags or quilts, sleeping bags or quilts. And in the past, I've always gone sleeping bags. But in the summertime, when the weather was fine, I bought a Sea to Summit down quilt. I think it was a Sea Summer 750 summer quilt. And I'm not joking you, that thing will pack down to the size of a Coke can. And when you take it out of the bag, it fluffs right up and it's absolutely darling for summertime. And I was super impressed by this quilt. So I was just like, right, I quite fancy a winter quilt. And I've been looking around and I've been looking around and I've been looking around. And I think I've finally found a quilt that is good for winter. It is the Optimus 850 quilt. Now, again, it comes in a sack, like a net sack there, like that. I absolutely love the colour of this thing. The light that's in this room at the moment, I don't think it's going to do it any justice. It's almost like a British racing green kind of colour. It comes with a little stuff sack. So when you go out on the hills, it goes into this stuff sack. It goes down to that sort of size, which is ideal for winter camping. I think it weighs about 850 grams, 850 grams, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Apologies for that. But there we are, guys. Look, this is the Optimus 850. And I don't know, it's black on the inside. I don't know if that's doing it any justice, the colour there. I've not got great lighting in here. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. At the bottom, you cinch the bottom up like that, right? And then the straps on the side, these straps here, that strap underneath the quilt, underneath your pad. And then literally you can like pull this right up close to you. And it is so, so warm. And I think this, they say, will take you down to about -4, -5. The owner of the company, Ben, he's been in contact with me when I was talking to him about it. And he says he's been out in it in -4 and he was lovely and toasty. And I just thought, do you know what? That's perfect for me because it's very rare in the UK that we get absolutely freezing winters. It's very, very rare that we get absolutely freezing winters. I can take that out, and if worse comes to the worst, I can wear a duck down jacket. I can wear softy trousers. I can wear some down boots, and that's like that take up half the size of my rucksack, and it'll keep me nice and warm. So that is it. We've done tents, we've done roll mats, we've done pillows, we've done sleeping bags. I think the next thing that we'll come on to is the stuff that I take in my tent with me. So I always take a little dry sack. Now this is the dry sack, my Rab dry sack, which my sleeping bag is supposed to go into. But because I stuff it into my bag, I just use this for putting clothes in. And I tend to take a thermal shirt that I sleep in my sleeping bag with if it's cold. I've got some socks. Now they're thermal socks. My brother was in the Navy and he had got some Norway thermal socks that he gave me. Those things keep your feet toasty. I've got obviously some gloves. And I've also got, what else do I have? Also have down booties. So these are Thermarest down booties. No, they're not Thermarest. What make are these? Nature Hike down booties. These are little booties that you wear in your sleeping bag when it's a little bit cold. Those things there, I've not worn these yet. I bought these at Christmas time, never wore them because I bought some down slippers, some Rab down slippers. These things are fantastic. I tend to wear these around the house. They're that warm. And you put these on in your tent, you get in your sleeping bag with them on, get up in the middle of the night, you need a wee, get outside your tent, have a wee, come back in. They've got a waterproof bottom. So when I went to Shellstone Tour on my last camp, I got out in the middle of the night. You saw how wet it was. Had a wee, got back in the tent, wiped my feet on the floor, got back in my sleeping bag. Job's a good one. So that's basically what I wear there. Now, what I was going to say is if you wanted to save some money on some gear, don't be frightened to go down the military route and buy like softies and any equipment by the military. Some you can get some good stuff. These are my softy trousers that I wear, and you know I've been on many a camp at night time. They're not down or anything like that. They're synthetic, but softy trousers. You can get them in any army surplus store for about £20. I love these trousers. I really, really do love them, and I've worn them loads. So they keep you warm in the ice and the cold. I've got 2 jackets. The jacket that I use if it's not too cold is the 4-class down jacket. It's a very small down jacket, but that one there keeps me nice and warm in the night if it's not too cold. But my newest jacket that I've bought, and I did spend a bit of money on this one. I'm not going to put it on because it's absolutely roasting. It's the mountain equipment. Now, this mountain equipment jacket, is it the light mountain equipment light wear? Or I think it's something like that, about 240 quid from Go Outdoors. But it's so warm. It comes with a stuff sack. It goes down quite small. It cinches right up. It's got, you can wear it if you do mountaineering. You can wear a helmet on underneath it. It's a really, I think it's about an 850 down. And it is so warm. You know, I've started buying mountain equipment gear now. It's a bit pricey stuff, but it is good hard wearing stuff. It's got a double zip, one at the top, one at the bottom. So if you need a wee, you can pull your zip up. Get in the comments, guys. Tell people what gear you would recommend in your tent. When 4 seasons winter gear, what you take. So that's my clothes that I wear. That's the sleeping bags that we sleep in. That's the mats that we sleep on, the pillows, the tents that we sleep in. What else can I show you? Cook set. So I will show you my cook set. Now, last time when we went on my camp, I didn't actually take this with me because 9 times out of 10, we don't go out on long hikes and stuff like that. So, you know, you don't necessarily have to take a load of stuff. I advise you taking a cook set because it's good to keep yourself warm because you can heat up some water, make a cup of coffee, or take an army ration pack, or there's loads of dry packs that you can get for keeping you warm. This is the OEX, and I think it's called the Heidi. I think it is something like that. This it's like the Jetboil. I bought this one. Is it the OEX Heidi? I don't know if there's anybody that can tell me. It cost me about £40. I've used it loads and loads of times. That, you know, you can put the gas canister in there, put that on top. That goes in there like that for storing it. It's so easy, and within 2 minutes you've boiled yourself a cup of tea. 40 quid instead of a Jetboil. I mean, Jetboils are good, guys. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I ain't spending £200 on a Jetboil or whatever it may be now when I can make myself a cup of tea. Because basically all it is it's just a glorified flipping, it's a glorified kettle, really, isn't it? That thing there goes on the bottom of your gas canister to hold it up. I've got a seat or something cup. There we are. And then a long spoon. So I haven't spent a lot of money on my cooking stuff because I just don't think, you know, I'm not really that bothered on spending lots of money on my cook set. I know my mates in the group, they've bought some good stuff there. I think that's what my next investment is going to be, on some decent cooking stuff. Got my water bottle. There we are with LNT Outdoors. Mark Jeffrey Presents. I'm going to start getting some stickers on there so if there's any of you guys that want to send me some stickers, get on there now. Send that to me. What else have I got to show you? I've got a gas canister. You don't need to see that. Or you might do. This is the gas that I use. It's C100 Extreme 2.0 by Coleman's. Now, this gas will says it will go down back to about -27. We was up on top of Yestor and Liam was struggling to cook his steak. The reason why that was because the gas that he was using was rubbish. I always say, buy decent gas, then your stove won't splutter and stuff like that. Doug says alcohol stove, X-Boil for the winter. Alcohol stove, really, really good. I've got a Trangia alcohol stove. Only problem is with that, for me, I think they're very, very good in the summer, because in the summertime, when the weather is fine, you're not in any rush. You've got plenty of daylight. You can sit out at the tent and talk to your mates. It's quite easy to cook your food. You're not in any rush. In the winter, when it's freezing cold, you just want to get something warm inside you. Matron. These, gas canister, jet boils, whatever, X-Boil, whatever. They'll cook your meal. They'll boil your water in about 2 minutes. They're super, super, really, really cool. I've not really got much to say about that, really. What else have I got here to show you? This is another new purchase. I got this for Christmas, and this here cost me anything. It cost Nikki £72, right? And it's a chair, and it is the Crazy Creek. I'm just trying to get it in shot here. Crazy Creek Hex 2. It's insulated. It's great for inside your tent because you can sit up a lot more. In the winter months when I'm in Mustaika and it is like you don't want to be laid down the whole time, it's nice to sit up in your tent and cook your food. This gives you a bit of support. I know Doug's got one, Stu's got one. All of us are super impressed with these things. £72, yes, but it's insulated, so you can. I've been up on the rocks, up at Dartmoor, and it keeps your bum warm. So that is the Crazy Creek Hex 2. Quite simply, roll it up, stuffs down the side of your pack. Great stuff. We'll go on to rucksacks, and get in the comments, guys, and tell me what rucksacks you've got, because these things again cost a lot of money, and it is very important that you've got something on your back that's going to keep you upright, not keep your back too sweaty. Rucksacks, I just think they're important because you need to distribute the weight. This one that I've got here is the I can't remember what it's called. It is the Osprey Aether 70 AG, something like that. Absolute beast of a rucksack. Now, the reason why I bought this one was because of old Hayes Outdoors. He's got this rucksack. It's super great. You can stuff your tent in the bottom there when it's blowing a hoolie. It's a 70-litre pack sack. It's got the gravity system on the back, so the pack's pulled off of your back. It allows your back to not get sweaty, to let some air through. It's a fantastic rucksack. You've got 2 pockets on the front, the lower bit. It's beginning to get a bit dark in here, guys. Apologies. It's not the greatest of rooms for. It's dark. It's dismal. It's UK. So apologies there. But I do love this rucksack. The one thing that it is missing is on the straps at the top. It would be nice to have a drinks holder. Now, the drinks holders for this are on the side, and that's all well and good, but when you're walking and you're trying to get water out from back here, it is quite difficult, I've found. But I can't fault this one. It weighs about 2.5 kilograms, this bag. I love the bag. Getting the Otomos Osprey was life-changing, says Jess, and Jess suffers from bad backs, so for him to say it, it does say a lot. Guys, again, about £270, something like that. But the Otomos, the anything by Osprey, like I say, this is the Aether 70. Anything by Osprey, really, really good rucksacks. Highly recommend them. Waterproof. You've got on the top of them, you've got a pocket with a waterproof cover that goes over the top when it's raining. You might have seen us out there. It looks like we're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles walking around. Great rucksack. But one rucksack that I bought a couple of years ago for doing through hiking is my next pack. And this is an absolute beauty of a rucksack. I totally love this one. This one is the Sierra Designs Flex Capacitor. It's a 40 to 60 litre rucksack. If you pull all the straps in, it's 40 litres. Undo the straps, it's 60 litres. It has got drinks holders, so you can put your bottle, if it will fit. I've not tried yet. Not tried this big one. I'm gonna, yeah, there you are. You can put your bottle in there for when you're out hiking. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love this one because it is super, super light. There's no weight to that at all. It's got 2 pockets at the bottom. I carry a poo shovel. I carry some wet wipes in it. I sometimes carry my head torch. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I really, really do love this one. It's got a metal framework system inside. I think you can just see it there. And it's like it swivels on the inside, and it's just so comfortable to wear. Absolutely love that one. But that's the one that I used that last couple of weeks ago when I went up to High Willys. I used that. I used my quilt. I took all the stuff. It was literally about 11 kilograms. So there we are, guys. That's that. What else have I got to show you? These are new things. Now, you might think there's a bit overkill. Ski goggles. Right. Why do you need ski goggles? Well, I shall tell you for what. When you're out on top of the hills and it is blowing a hoolie and it is the winter time, my contact lenses dry right out, right? So put these things walking up the hill, sideways rain or sleet or snow. It's just a life changer. It is an absolute life changer. Put these things on, put your hood up, cinch it down, put a buff on as well. Job's a good one. These were about £23-26 from Amazon. They're not expensive, but for me, wearing contact lenses, they're big enough that I can wear my glasses underneath as well. They're just really, really good. It just stops your eyes from just getting sore and drying out. Get a pair of ski goggles for when you're out, guys. And those ones there, they're yellow lenses. They do loads of different color lenses. Those yellow lenses, you can wear them in the sun as well if you're out in snow. And really, really good. Good little investment they were for me, I would say. We're nearly about done, guys. Nearly about done. The last thing that I've got to show you is when the weather gets bad, what do you wear out in the wind and the rain? So I have got to buy some new stuff because I haven't invested any money on wet weather gear yet, to be honest with you. I would like to get some Gore-Tex gear. So if any of you that are watching in the future or watching in the chat there now, get in here and tell me what wet weather gear you get. Up on Dartmoor, it rains 24/7 practically all year round. So it is important to stay dry. I've heard that Gore-Tex is the future. I've always just bought relatively cheap coats. I did the other day buy this jacket, and again, it's mountain equipment, and it's basically a wind jacket. So it is waterproof. It's got the material. It does sound like what material it is. Hydro something. No, drill light. I don't know if you can see dry light. Sorry. It keeps me relatively dry if I'm out in showers. That is about £170. I bought that jacket for £30 on Vinted. It is secondhand, but you're not going to buy a decent jacket for £30. A decent jacket, you're looking about 170 quid. That is a decent jacket, secondhand, 30 quid. Don't be frightened to buy secondhand stuff, guys, to tie you over, because you can get some real good bargains out there. What other jacket have I got? My other jacket that I've got is the North Face. This jacket is the equivalent to that jacket, but it's North Face's version. And what I like about this one is it's got a fleece inner. So you've got a fleece inner with a nice pocket there, and you can take the fleece out if you want. This is what they call high vent jacket. You've got a zip underneath here to keep you nice and cool. So if you're hiking, this thing will do right up. You've got a hood on it. There we are. You can put your goggles on, and it's a waterproof jacket. It's not Gore-Tex, but it'll keep you dry for walking in torrential rain for about an hour before you get wet. The future is Gore-Tex. That is what I'm looking at in the future. But again, that jacket, for a North Face jacket, I got that on Vinted. I paid £27 for it. And when I'll check the pockets to wash it, I found a lady Godiva in there, guys. £5 note. So that there cost me £22 for a North Face jacket. Don't be shy to buy stuff second hand. Waterproof trousers. These waterproof trousers are my Works waterproof trousers. They're Royal Mail waterproof trousers, and it's the best thing that company has ever given me. And these waterproof trousers, they're not expensive. I generally, in the year, wear shorts. Whenever I go out on the mountains or the hills, I wear shorts because your skin's waterproof. But there is times where you need waterproof trousers, and these things here have been an absolute lifesaver for me. My trousers and my jacket, waterproof jacket, I tend to stuff in the front of my pack, so that if it's raining, it's easy to take out. But we're practically done. I'm gonna have a slurp. If there's any of you guys that have got any questions about any of my equipment, or if there's any questions that you want to ask me, I want to try and make this episode about an hour long. So we've got about 8 minutes left. If there's any questions, or if there's anything, press that heart button or whatever. If you are new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, telling your friends about the channel, because this channel's been growing loads in the last month, and I'm really pushing to get extra content out. That's the reason why I'm here doing this live on my Saturday afternoon, and I hope that it has been something that you've learned from. I hope it has been valuable for you. I hope that if you I know a lot of you are out on the moors at the moment, or you're watching football, or you're perhaps at work and you'll be watching this in the future. But please get in the comments on my YouTube and comment about this video. Is it something that you've enjoyed? Would you like to watch it again? What would you like me to talk about? I will be doing these lives. I'm probably going to be setting up a Patreon, and I'll be doing these sort of things on my Patreon. But this is the first time I've done a live. So I just wanted to put it out there and ask you guys what you think. Have you enjoyed it, etc., etc. So thank you for watching. Last but not least is I've got two things to show you. Hold on, I've just found some more. Is my shoes. Now, lots of people wear boots going out on the hills, and forgive me, these things are looking chatty as hell because I haven't cleaned them from going out on my last camp with Stu, and these things went in the bogs. We fell over, we went in the bogs. These things are Hoka Challenger 6s, and I bought these when I was doing my running. They are used for running. There we are. They're super light. They got a mesh on them, and they're fantastic for walking on Dartmoor because I wear like sea skin waterproof socks with these. You can walk through rivers, and I believe you me, the guys will vouch for this. I have walked through rivers up to knee deep in these things. By the time I'm 10 minutes down the road, all the water is squidged out of the front bit. The shoes nigh on bone dry. My feet are waterproof. Are in waterproof socks. They're bone dry. I'm not got big bulky boots on. These are fantastic for walking on the trails. Like I said, they're the Hoka Challenger 6s. I think they are fantastic trainers. Yeah. Let me know in the comments what you wear on your feet. That's that. And last but not least, sealskin waterproof gloves. Last but not least you may have seen me on the hills with this strapped to the front of me. Now, this is what I carry all my electrical gear in, because I'm a YouTuber. I've got lots of stuff in here, like my head torch. Now, this head torch is a Petzl head torch. It's relatively old. I mean, that thing there has got high beam, low beam. It's got a massive, great big battery that you charge on your back. It's getting old now, but that thing is bright. I paid £40 for that off Marketplace. Somebody in Plymouth was selling it. He used to use it for taking his dog for a walk in the evening. I bought that. Super fantastic torch. My torch that I put up in the tent, I should have put that there, shouldn't I? Is the OEX lantern. I think they're about 20 quid. Again, that hangs up in my tent. Good little head torch, headlamp. This one here was the Otomo head torch. I like this one because it's got like a thing on the front. I'm trying my best not to blind you. It's got a big thing on the front, like a strap along your head. It's got a bit on the side there for a main beam. And I do believe there's a red light on this one as well. There, got a red light on it as well. So that one there, I was given this one as a gift to do a review. Good little head torch, that one, 20 quid, something like that. I've got my power pack. Now, this is an absolute beast. I bought this for when I went to Glastonbury in 2010. It's like a 25,000 hour battery pack. Now, it is a beast, but this has lasted me for years and years and years. It's on the big side, but I still haven't found a pack that is as good as that, 25,000 hours. I might be wrong, but that's what I carry in there as well in my tent. I've got my DJI Mini microphone that I generally lose, or I have it on my hat or on my shirt. I use that there for doing my recording, and that comes with a little pouch there like that. I carry my spare batteries for my camera. The DJI comes with 2 spare batteries that plugs into the wall. I use the DJI Action 4 camera. That one really could do with updating. I think on the Action 6 now, but it's a good camera. Then I've bought this little thing here there the other day for all you people that are content creators. It goes on to the Action 4 or any DJI or any GoPro. It straps on the side, and it's basically just a light that's not working because I haven't. Oh, there we are. It's basically a light for coming back at you like that. I might actually leave that there like that. So it's got 3 settings, 1, 2, 3, and then it's got an annoying flashy thing like that. So if you fancy having a little bit of a dance, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that cost me about £16. That plugs into the wall, and you can charge it up afterwards. What else have I got in here? Copious amounts of different cables, like that. I've got my GPS system, which I am going to go into a little bit more depth about this later on. There we are. It's the SensCap. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later on, but that's got a GPS system that can send your details to somebody, to your loved one, and to tell them exactly where you are up on the hills. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I've also got something that I dug out there the other day that I've never used. And it's one of these as Henry said, I don't know what it's called. It's a thing that does your wind speed, and nobody knows how to pronounce it. I don't know what it's called. An anodominator. I'm an anodominator. Sorry, I'm messing with you. But yeah, that does wind speed. It does the humidity. It also does the temperature. I'm going to start using that in the videos as well, tell you the exact wind speed. But there we are, guys. That is everything that I take with me on a winter camp. My electrics, the whole lot. And out of all of my equipment, I've managed to get it down now so that I can go out on a winter camp in a 4-seasons sleeping bag, 4 seasons pack, 4 seasons sleeping mat, 4 seasons quilt, 4 seasons tent, all of the above will keep me warm, dry, and safe on Dartmoor for 11 kilograms. So I think that's quite impressive, guys. I don't know if there's anything more to say, to be honest with you. Hope that this has been to some sort of benefit to you guys. And like I said, if any of you would like me to do any more of these, please get in contact and I'll do it on a Saturday afternoon or do it once a week. I just wanted to be upfront with you. I have had a few companies. Now I'm beginning to pick up a little bit of a following. I have had a few people that have got in contact with me asking me to review their stuff. And there was a company there the other day that I had to turn down just because it didn't seem right for me. They wanted me to do a review on a product from a van life, and it just didn't seem right. And it would have given you like a 38% deduction on the product for you guys that wanted to buy it, but it just didn't seem right for the channel and that lot. And what I'm getting at is I'm not just going to start reviewing stuff and bogging you down with rubbish on this channel. If I think it's a product that is going to be a benefit to you guys, if I think it is a product that's going to save you some money, I will do a review. But I'm not just willy-nilly going to just start reviewing and promoting stuff and saying what I think just because it's a free gift for me. Because I just don't, that's just not what this is about. This channel is about me communicating with you guys, sharing my hobby. It's about me giving you something back and sitting down and having a chat on a Saturday afternoon. You know, for me, it is important that the brand suits me and suits you guys. So look, I've not got much more to say. I wanted to keep this video to about an hour. So guys, I just want to say thank you very much for the people that have been here watching me. Thank you very much for the people that's be watching this in the future. If you liked it, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please get in the comments and say what you think. Most importantly, stay safe, stay classy, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Have a great afternoon and get out on those hills. Have a good one. Cheers and gone, guys. Cheers and gone.